up, y'all? Welcome back. Today I just want to introduce you to these cool sounding chords that are used in flamenco music, and I'm not going to get into a bunch of detail about theory or anything like that. I'm just going to show you how to play them and then how we can play some cool ornaments on top of these chords too. So let's jump right in. So a lot of us already know with this Spanish style you have that kind of chord progression that where you just take an E chord and move it up a step and then back, and that gives us a really cool sound. And if you haven't started with that, go ahead and start there. But if you've already done that and you're looking for some extra chords, check these out. So this chord is like an A7 flat 9. You don't need to know what that means, but this is how you play it. Now, if you just take your first finger and kind of bar it across like this, like you would with a normal A chord, use your second finger also for support on the second fret of the B string. Okay, and then we're going to use our third finger to play this ornament. And what I mean by ornament, it's just kind of a spicy note that you can add to this chord to make it sound more interesting, more exotic. The other thing you can do is do it with trills. And I'm not doing anything special with the right hand. I'm just strumming back and forth with the fingers like this. If you want to get a little bit more fancy with it, try these strums where you kind of extend the fingers out one at a time. And you can even add the thumb on top of that. Kind of like that. So it's, and then you can also go up with the thumb, and that gives you an extra strum, extra cool stuff that you can do. Let's check out the other chords that are paired really well with this one. So once you have this first chord, and then the ornament, this is the second chord that usually comes with it. This is kind of a type of B flat chord. There's a bunch of different ways you can do it, but let's just practice this first. This chord going to this one. Now notice a couple things I'm doing is I'm playing this. This is the B flat chord, first fret here, third fret here. The rest of them are just kind of open or muted. You can have it open like that or kind of mute that first string. But check it out, from here, you can add the second finger to go to this chord, which is kind of like a C add 9. And then back. Now another little ornament that happens sometimes on the A is this. And that happens because we're coming from this B chord, this B flat, and when we go back to the A, your pinky should be still down there. Okay, and then you still have the opportunity to do this ornament. Yeah, right? Okay, so all together we have this one, this one, this one, this one, back to that one. Okay. Let me show you a couple more ornaments that you can do. On the B chord, once you're here, if you want to hang out on this chord for a little bit and make some ornaments on it, this is a cool one you can do too. So from here, put your second finger down, third fret of the D string, and then bring your first finger over to play ornaments on the first string. And then always return back to this chord. This is our home bass chord, okay? So another cool thing you can play is some little scale fragments in the key of the song. So because we're playing this chord and this little ornament, the scale that goes along with is A Phrygian dominant. So the notes that you could play to kind of lead from maybe from here is to play a little run like this. So those notes are going to be open, first fret, third fret, open A string, first fret, fourth fret. And then back to, notice that note is the same as the ornament that we have here. Okay, so putting it all together without getting too technical, just kind of start to get creative with playing this chord and playing the ornaments. Go to this one for a little bit, then this one, maybe back to that one, and then back to this, okay? Now the last thing I want to say is, in flamenco, there's a really unique rhythm pattern they call a compass. And basically, it's counting to 12. And the accents aren't just going to be like every other note or anything like that. The accents are actually played like this. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. Okay, so that is the rhythm of it. You might be wondering why I'm starting with 12. Well, that's the traditional way that they count in flamenco music. I think it's best to start there, but if you really hate counting and starting on 12, you can count like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And the reason we count that way is because that's where the accents are at the beginning of each of the phrase. Every time we say 1, that's where we're accenting. So if you're counting like this, we're going like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I think just starting with that is going to help train your ear to hear these cool sounding chords and the ornaments. And this one.